Hello everyone. Welcome to an impromptu video. The power just went out in my neighborhood and I thought it might be a good opportunity to showcase my kind of new portable setup I got going on. So you may have seen some of my other my other not emails, my other videos where I was goofing around with the rip cords to power things via USB. So I got a couple of USB power packs here, Volca sample, and an Novation circuit, which is kind of my going to be my mobile rig, but also doesn't work too bad for a power out rig. So I just got a cheapo mixer here that I did a quick little review on too. But the nice thing about this, and sorry, I'm just on my bed right now, and the bed sheet's off, so it looks really classy. I threw everything into a suitcase here, so all this fits in the suitcase with all the cabling. I got it hooked into a Bose speaker. Don't worry, I'm going to hook this into the camera to give that a test in a second, but I was just goofing around here for... So you can see it all goes together there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, play around with this for a little bit. And we're going to try hooking, instead of having the outputs go into the Bose speaker, we're going to hook it into the camera here, and we're just going to fart around for a little bit and see what we can make. As my dog goes to town on her legs over here looking away. She doesn't like when the power goes out, so she's a little nervous. Anyways, let's have some fun. So one thing you're going to immediately notice is without using a proper audio interface, I'm definitely overloading the phone. So you can hear the clipping distortions, which kind of ruins this demonstration. I'll do a better one later with my actual audio interface, but that might be one problem with this setup is getting the audio levels right to the phone. I'll probably have to do a little bit of testing before I start playing like I did here. Don't worry, I'm going to cut out of most of this because it sounds like garbage, but I just wanted to demonstrate that to you. So, one thing, hey Mel, one thing I like about using a proper audio interface is I realized that whole thing, while it sounded okay in my headphones, I probably was blaring it out to the phone in pretty too loud, so it didn't sound great. The other thing I wanted to show you, the other problem I have this is set up, is I opened the blinds here just to give you one of the biggest issues I think I'm going to have is visibility, right? Because this thing really relies upon its LED interface to show you what's happening. It's clouded over a bit since I started. I shot this a second ago, but I forgot to actually hook up audio to the output so you could hear some of the stuff, so I've done that now. But when it gets bright, and especially if I'm using the house outside on a sunny day, it's going to be hard to see what's going on this interface. So I'm going to have to use my suitcase to give me some coverage or something. We'll have to play around with that, but that could be a problem. The other thing I wanted to show you is, let me turn this off for a second. So I'm having a little bit of issues using MIDI out from the circuit to the sample. And what I have right now is I have Synth 1 hooked to MIDI track 12, I believe, so I can use Omni mode on page and custom firmware on the Volca sample 1. And Synth 2 is hooked to MIDI channel 1, and drums are hooked to MIDI channel, Synth 2 is hooked to MIDI channel 2, and drums are hooked to MIDI channel 1. Now, I can't turn off MIDI channel. What I'd love to do is have 1 and 2 MIDI off, but I have to set them from a channel to 1 to 16, I believe, on the circuit. I can't just turn off MIDI for Synth 2 and drums and use the Omni out for Synth 1, which is a bit of a bummer, right? Because, I'll turn this on quick. If what I have to do to get around it, so for example, right now I have no volume on the circuit. That's actually the sample playing. So you can see Synth 2 is going to trigger part 2, and drums are going to trigger. Turn on note mode for the drums, and drums are going to trigger 1. So to get around that, I kind of have to take my start position for part 1 and the length down to 0, and I can somewhat silence them out. And same for 2. So I'll turn the start to be the end and the length to be nothing, and then so but I have to sacrifice 1 or 2 or layer on top of them. But then for example, with synth 1, it's set to Omni right now, which, let me just take it off of poly mode. Oops, what am I doing? I can turn it back to just play. Selected, yep. Which gives me chromatic play, which is handy for parts in here. Or I can hook it up. I really like the poly mode with Pageant's custom firmware, which is hard to use with one hand. Ooh. Come on. Come on. Back to poly, please. Or Omni. Poly 4, and then can have some fun. Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to show you that. Some fun I can throw in the suitcase and power up with USB or play when the power's out like this. Oh yeah, hopefully you guys are having fun out there, and hopefully my power comes back on soon so I can get back to work. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.